All right, so welcome back to the show. This stays the AM Club. We're done with Coffee Daily. Now time for us to get into Lifestyle Daily. But hey, at Equity Health Insurance, the well-being of our members takes precedence. We recognize the unique health care needs of individuals and families, which is why we are delighted to present our Ebusua Health Plan. Now, this health plan is crafted to promote the enduring health and happiness of you and your loved ones. Our plans are meticulously tailored to offer comprehensive and competitive health insurance coverage for individuals, families, and smaller groups. Access to quality care is just a phone call away, offering continual assurance of your family's welfare. Contact us on 0546 645 465 or 0503 860 381. Hashtag here for you.
Ghana Garden and Flower Show 2024. Get ready to innovate, cultivate, and elevate. Join the excitement and fun at 8 amazing days of Ghana Garden and Flower Show, day 22nd and to 29th of September 2024. AFA Sutherland Children's Park is the venue, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. each day. Now, the theme is Greenovation. Green the nation, feed the nation, grow the nation. That is green the nation, feed the nation, grow the nation. Come discover how to turn your garden into a green powerhouse that beautifies, feeds, and grows you and our nation. Come to the daily exhibition Green to Riches Youth Conference Masterclasses, Little Green Fingers, music nights, drama nights, kids playground, and many more exciting activities. Join the movement for a greener, cleaner, healthier, wealthier, and more beautiful Ghana. The Ghana Garden and Flower Show, an initiative of Stratcom Africa. Stratcom Africa celebrating 30 years of pioneering, innovating, and impacting. Experience the Stratcom Africa difference. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going from the 22nd to the 29th of September to IFA Sutherland Children's Park to learn how to green Ghana, to beautify Ghana. Okay, so let's do this. Let's do this together. Now it's time for Lifestyle Daily. Today we're discussing dementia. Is that the right pronunciation? Dementia. Dementia. Causes and prevention. Dementia. One would have thought that, listen, good morning. Sorry, I was going to just jump into the conversation because we started talking earlier. Yeah. Joining us for the conversation this morning is God Afo, Mr. God Afo, Dr. God Afo.
God Afo, just use God Afo.
He's a lecturer, memory trainer, and author. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. By God's grace, once
well
the mind is
always.
working, thank you. Once the mind is working, we're good.
We're good. Now, when it comes to conversation of dementia, everybody straight goes to relating it to the older folks. But when I was looking into the topic, it turns out that younger people are also prone to this condition. Tell us how that is, and tell us why for a very long time it was associated to the older folks.
All right, that's good. Thank you very much. Before that, let's get into the word dementia. Dementia came from the Latin dementia, which means out of the mind, or madness, or insanity. So it became a general term we used to describe any condition that affects the mind, behavior, personality, mood, So it's not a specific disease, but it's a general disease we give to these conditions, dementia. So you have different forms, which we'll be talking about later. Now, it's been tied to old age. But if you go into science or research, dementia is not part of normal aging.
No.
So it means it's preventable.
Yeah.
There are things you could do to prevent it. And now it's come down to even 40s. We've seen conditions even in people in their 30s, which is a problem. And I'm not surprised because of our lifestyle. So when I looked into dementia, problem is lifestyle, so major cause is lifestyle. If there are other many risk factors, but if you take your time to understand it properly, it all boils down to lifestyle, so it's something that we can prevent. It's fixable, it's treatable, you know, and I've seen many people even overcome it.
Right.
You know, yes. So I'm calling it infamous dementia. It's becoming popular now for the wrong reasons.
For the wrong reasons.
You know, so we need to be aware and we need to do more to prevent it. Because when you lose one of the major symptoms is memory loss.
Yes.
You know, if you grow up now, you can't, at some point, you don't even know how to tie your lace again. You know, you take the watch, you don't know what it's meant for. Where should it go? Is it left or right? You know, so these are some of the symptoms. It's really bad. And I will tell you this, when you start to lose your memory, you start to die.
I think I agree with you when you say it's really bad, because even on a regular day, when you do not even have dementia and you try to remember something, and for like the next 20 minutes you cannot remember what it is that you're looking for, it can be very frustrating.
Yeah.
When you find someone and you're trying to remember, where do I know this person from? And the person is just smiling at you. It can be very frustrating.
This normal kind of
this normal,
you know.
Now, you mentioned lifestyle being the major cause. So tell us some of the things that people do that could cause this at a certain age.
Yeah, great. That's a good question. I'll bring you this first. Too much sugar.
Hey.
Wow.
You people, you come to attack me on this.
Too much sugar.
Is it an attack on my person? People come to this carry attack. Too much sugar. Why?
Sugar, yes.
What's
so
that got to do with
it causes
anything?
inflammation, basically, you know. So it shrinks your brain.
Sugar.
It shrinks your brain, you know. So that is not good at all. Inflammation is one of the risk factors, you know. So do your sugar, but limit it a little bit. Trans fat, unsaturated fat, bacon, you know, the beef, too much of it, you know, could lead to that. Many of us will never run until somebody's chasing us.
Yeah.
You know, so lack of exercise. You know, body was created to move. You know, so if you're not moving more, you are killing the body. And what affects the body affects the mind. Whatever affects the body affects the mind. So once it affects the body, it starts to affect the mind. You know, because there should always be a body-mind or brain connection. You know, so when the body is healthy, the brain is healthy. When the brain is healthy, the body is healthy. You know, there's always that connection. You know, smoking. You know, so smoking is a major risk factor. And I'll bring you the other one, which is equivalent to smoking, called sitting.
Sitting.
Too much sitting.
Like sitting like this.
For a long time.
For a long time.
Wow.
So we said sitting is a new smoking. When they did it, it carries the same effect. So we say, I don't smoke, but if you sit down for that long, it's counted to you as smoking. It's credited to you as smoking. This is bad credit, isn't it? So the thing is...
Who is the scientist behind that research? Because I think they found something wrong.
They measured, you know, when you sit down for that long, you know, that's how come I even came out of the 37-7.
Yeah.
People sit down for that long, you know, learn for 6 hours, they think they are learning, which is, sometimes they are learning though, but they gain all the knowledge and lose their health. What have they gained? You know, because beyond 30, 45, blood flow starts to decline. And it's been proven. So when you sit down for that long, look at the posture when you sit down. We were humans, if you look into the word man, the definition is any living member of the family Hominidae characterized by superior intelligence, articulate speech, and erect carriage. So we are bipedal. We stand on our 2 feet for a reason. So even when you are speaking, those of you, you know you're a great speaker. When you are speaking and you don't keep an erect posture, you know, comfortable posture, you don't speak well.
Yeah.
You know, so somebody's talking, okay, so it doesn't come. But when you stand, you know, straight, confident, you speak well.
Yeah.
So when you get into that erect posture, you perform better. So if you sit down, your posture is different for a long time. You're not keeping your erect posture. You know, so you sit down like 30, 45, you get up a little bit. You know, I trained KPMGs last year, and there's something they do, I like it. When you are working, after 1 hour, your system will shut down automatically. And song will start playing. You need to get up and start moving the body.
No.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so they
Wow.
don't want you to sit down for that long because they
Yeah.
know the effect of
Yeah.
sitting. You know,
Oh.
I know some other company, not here. When you are working after 1 hour, there's something called rebounder. So we get the people to bounce a little bit on it. And it improves performance. Why? Because it improves the brain. When you are moving, your brain is improving. You know, so if you, these ones could cause dementia, poor lifestyle, you know, so, and poor sleep hygiene. You know, we don't sleep well, and we talk about it. That's a key area, you know, major cause of dementia,
Yeah.
poor sleep. You know, because you form strong memories when you are sleeping. So everything you've learned, it gets consolidated when you are sleeping.
You know, I learned that recently, right?
Okay.
In your book.
In a book, all right, that's
Yeah.
good.
And I was about, I just finished my exams like last week, right? Just last week. And every time I thought of not coming to work, I just got, why am I not going to work? Because my paper is later. But then I started making use of the time that I had spending at home before I leave to go and write my exams. And every time I went there, I was looking at the book, I'm like, this book is going to aid me to write these exams and pass this paper because I'm tired. I'm not doing this paper no more. And every time I was going to work just driving and I know I've had enough sleep, I felt better. Quite honestly. I think my energy now, I love it.
Yeah, it gives you energy.
Yeah, I love
it
my
reduces
energy.
your stress.
Yeah.
There's a chemical in your body called cortisol.
Yeah.
If you have too much release in your body,
Yeah.
it's not too good. It's a stress hormone.
Yeah.
You know, so when you don't sleep well, it could
Increase.
rise or increase, and that's not too good. You know, so the brain won't perform properly.
Is there anything hereditary as far as this is concerned?
Yeah, so dementia, there's genes attached to that as well. There's a gene called ApoE4, you know, so when you have it, yeah, chances are that, you know, it doesn't mean you'll have it, but your chances are high, you know, because we talk about something called amyloid beta, and it's tied to sleep. You know, so so the other one is poor learning. You don't learn, lack of learning. When you learn, you make a connection. You know, the cells, they come together, and they love to come together. Like people love to come together. And that is the basic building block of the mind or the brain. So they love to come together. And it happens when you learn, when you experience something. So they want you to be learning all the time. Because when they stand alone, they don't like it. And they can only come together when you learn or experience something. So when you learn, they come together and they get happy. So in neuroscience, there's something called neurodepression. There's long-term depression. When you are not learning the thing again, the connection gets weaker. So we say they get depressed. You know, but when you repeat it, they get stronger. It's called potentiation, long-term potentiation. So they love to come together. So when we are not learning, they are not coming together. They are not happy, and they'll pay you back. You know, so we start to experience memory loss and all that. You know, so we need to learn. We need to sleep well, and the sleep bit. Whenever you are sleeping, the synapses, whatever you've learned, the synapses are coming together, and the things you know, the synapse is here, and this represents communication, represent your memory, represent thinking. You know, so when it's stronger, you can remember. When it's weaker, you can't remember. You know, and poor sleep could make something come around. They call it amyloid beta. It's sticky. So it comes around the network, and that network is the connection between cells, and that forms the communication, forms memory. You know, so if something is coating it, covering it, it means it's not working properly. You know, it doesn't have that space, that freedom now. You know, and over time it built up. Sleep will cause some chemicals to be released when you sleep well, especially deep sleep, to be released to clean them. So they come and they wash them off. So if you're not sleeping well, it means your brain is getting dirty. This one keeps piling up, and it gets to the tipping point, and you become symptomatic for Alzheimer's or dementia.
I know this is not part of the conversation, but quickly, could you just give us an overview of what is good sleep?
Good sleep is when you actually get into deeper sleep. You know, we have REM sleep and not REM sleep. You know, sometimes when you are sleeping, your eyes moves faster. You know, the eyelid. You know, so rapid eye movement, REM, and non-rapid eye movement. So you switch between the two. So you need to get into that deep sleep. You know, and usually it happens when you sleep early.
Okay.
Because, you know, there's something called melatonin. That's how come we tell you don't be exposed to screen time before bedtime.
Yeah.
Because melatonin is released when it sees darkness. You know, so that's how come when you turn off the light, you sleep better. You know, so night, it knows, yeah, it's getting dark, so we need to retire. So when it sees light, it thinks like, it's still daytime.
It's still daytime.
You know, so around that time, between 9 and 2 a.m., more is being released into the bloodstream to help you sleep. You know, so if you don't sleep early, sometimes it could affect you. And you can't get into this, you slept, but you didn't get into good deep sleep. You know, so that deep sleep is good. So if you could get 6 to 8 hours is good. That's good sleep.
Okay.
You
Interesting. Okay. All right.
People having 8 hours sleep and they know themselves.
Yeah, but what are, I mean, I love the fact that we started off with, because you would hear it, that dementia is from old people and young people don't really get it that way. But this time around, we're seeing that young people all
The
get it.
cases
But
are not many, though.
the cases are not
Many
many.
cases are seen, you know, in the
older
older folks,
folks.
Yeah.
65.
But what would be the warning
70.
signs?
Yes, the warning signs, like we talked about some of them, you know, it starts with petty forgetfulness,
Okay.
you know, and there's something that you really know. I know you, we've been playing, we've been having fun together, I know your name, I know things you like. All of a sudden, I can't remember your name again. That's serious.
That's serious.
You know, we are having a conversation. At some point, I get lost. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
As you continue with that, does it just happen all of a sudden or it builds up?
It builds up, but that is how it starts.
Oh, yeah.
You know, sometimes you are talking, I can't even hear you properly. Minor, you know, hearing impairment.
Oh.
You know, minor visual impairment. You can't see properly. You know, all these are happening because the brain is not working properly. The brain controls all this. You know, movement, heartbeat, you know, thinking, judgment, decision making. You know, so once it gets affected, you see these signs coming in. You know, somebody could even go to the mall and even forget they brought their car.
And go back home?
Go back home, take Uber.
Yeah, so let me tell you a funny story.
Oh, it happened to you?
No.
Beautiful.
Oh, no. No way.
At the mall, this mall of Accra. I went there. What was I even doing? I went there to do something. So I was sitting in my car. It happened at GH1 as well. Oh my God. So I was sitting behind me twice, sitting in my car, but my legs were outside. I was wearing my slipper, what I wear in the morning. So I was outside, just sitting outside. And when I was about moving, I took off my slippers and I sat in my car and left my slippers there twice.
Twice.
I did have it twice. The mall, Accra Mall, and my former office.
Yeah.
I left my slippers there. So what's funny is that there's this that's why it's good to be nice to people. It's always good to be nice to people. My office then, whenever I go, I met this guy, Ansa, and I was always playing with him. He's the security guy. Not like security, but he's always sitting outside. And I was, when he saw the slippers, when he saw the slippers, he knew that was my slippers because he saw it on my feet.
Yeah.
And I would never thought that the guy looks at my feet. And he kept the slippers for me. So he called, he's like, "Hey, Auntie Mimi, you left your slippers." I said, "I left my slippers where I said you left at the car park." I said, "Hey."
Again.
So that is a sign of
No, but usually the thing I'll tell you so you could relax a little bit. Usually when you do something and you don't give it attention, you don't remember.
Right.
You know, so if in the book I keep talking about attention, you know, that's how learning starts. If you give it attention, you give it energy. And without energy, there's no retention. You know, so you were doing this one, but maybe your mind was somewhere else. So you didn't give it attention, so you forget it. Chances are that you forget it. You know, but if you know, I'm taking this off, your mind is there, it's not thinking, it's not wondering, it's here. It's likely you remember when you finish. You know, and sometimes you remember, though, it might be in your short-term memory. It takes a short time. And you may think about something else, so it clears it, it's gone. So you might not even remember again. But this is a minor kind of forgetting. You know, normal kind of forgetting.
So is it possible that worrying and you keep on worrying could lead to dementia? It could.
One major risk factor is stress.
Stress.
Depression. stress, depression, anxiety, fear, anger, negativity, envy, all these things, we talk about them, they are related to the stress hormone, the stress response in our body. The brain starts to think that there's a danger. So when you worry and somebody being physically chased by a dog, the chemical that is released to respond to that is practically the same.
The fear, the
fear, envy. That's how come in the Bible they talk about envy and all that. And don't be angry. Don't let the sunshine come on your anger. You think, but in neuroscience, when you get angry for more than 2 minutes, it means you want to really be angry. Because the body knows this. So when you get angry, it finds a way to get you out of that state. So within 2 minutes, the body is trying to get back to normal. But if you want to keep it, then you become intentional. Then it becomes intentional. So you keep doing this one, then it builds up. Then level of cortisol goes up, And these are bad chemicals within your body. And they come back to hurt your brain. So worrying is bad. That's how come the Bible says, do not be afraid, don't worry. So when you go on that path, you're killing your body.
Yeah.
So be free. So I bring them to fight dementia. You need to know something called emotional intelligence.
Oh, we're going back to this conversation. And I did say on my other show, The Dish, that it sounds to me as though it's like, and a few other people, I think there was a time my mom and I were having a conversation. I was telling her that, I know you people have all this brilliant stuff going on, but this emotional intelligence thing, even if you want to put it into practice, it looks to me like a fancy name we all have found for some very, 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 very trivial situation in everybody's life. Like, I do not want to respond this way to this person because they want to feel this way. So I want to help them feel this way. They want me to be angry with them because they know what they did is wrong to me. They expect this response. Let me give it to them. Why not?
Why not give it to them?
Why not give it to them? Because they're expecting it anyway.
But if you give it to them, you hurt your body.
Yeah.
That's the thing. You hurt your body, you control your own emotions. So I could say something to you. I could say something to you. You may not be angry. I could say the same thing to him. He may be angry. So it depends on how you take it.
Yeah.
So you still have the power. That's emotional intelligence. You decide how to manage your emotions.
Yes.
So I could give a different name. He says I'm ugly. Okay, maybe he didn't see my new haircut. Next time you need to look well. I give it a different name. He says I'm ugly. More time. Then it starts to sink in. It percolates. Then you start thinking about it. Then cortisol levels start going up. Then you start to get worried a little bit. Give it a different name. Change it.
Yeah.
And I do training in that area for managers. I tell them, don't worry too much. Anything that happens in the organization, give it a different name. The name you give it is what dictates what it will actually do. Failure in the organization is a blessing in disguise. Because there's something called the law of polarity. Negative, positive.
Yeah.
So it comes together. Everything that is positive has negative. Everything that is negative has positive. Nothing exists in its pure state. So if it's negative, remember this one, it comes with opportunities. So why not focus on the opportunities? And you see it. It might not be instant, but if you take your time, this is what happened. I'll tell you this. One of my sites, we had a problem. The whole structure came down. We've been there for like 5 years. Nothing is coming out of there, but we spent a lot and the structure came down. So we had to go and erect it again, spend money. I said, no, I'll give it a different name. There's a reason why it came down. I won't give up. And this side is giving me more than the other side now. But I nearly gave up. But I gave it a different name. There's a reason why it has to come down. Let's do this. It means something will come from here. So the name you give to things is what makes them work for you.
Right.
It's the name. Everything so I say this, nothing has a name Now, failure doesn't have a name until you name it.
Right.
So you can call it failure. When you call it failure, it becomes failure. But if it's failure, I call it opportunity. It becomes opportunity for me. You know, so these are some of the things we can think about. Everything that happens, don't worry. It's got its positive side. Focus on the positive sides. And it has actually helped me a lot. So I'm always calm under pressure. Whatever happens, I'm calm. I'm looking at the opportunity that will bring, you know. You know, there are a lot of things, if I give you my story, a lot of things have actually happened. And I look at the brighter side. In the end, I see them. You know, and if you go into neuroscience, this is also science. Once you give it that name and you believe in it, it gets created in your mind. So the mind starts to look for ways to bring it to you.
I'm assuming because of where we find ourselves geographically, it looks like everybody's prone to dementia at some point in their lives as we are growing. So are there any cognitive exercises that one could get themselves
there are a lot of
This
things
is one of them. What you just mentioned is one of them.
Yeah, being emotionally intelligent.
Yeah.
And I'll bring you learning that bit more before you tell me it's time. Because that part is very, very important. And I'm saying this because there was a research that was done on nuns when they were leaving, you know, for a decade. Some of them, they followed them for a decade. And when they died, the brains were donated for autopsy or research. And this is what they found. They had all the things I talked about, the amyloid plaques around the synapse, you know, but they never experienced dementia. But when they go into that, these were learners. And these were people who thought were positive thinkers. You know, so they saw that learning is a major defense. You could do your sugar, you could maybe not move your body, you know, and do all these things, enjoy your beacon, and be a learner, a philomath, and may not even experience this. And I looked into that as well. Because I call it synaptic health. When you learn, you work on the synapse more. Because you learn, it gets connected, and you have another network being created. You know, so your network is bigger. If you have about 100 billion neurons, the brain cells, they are about 100 billion. And every neuron can make about 10 to 70,000 connections. One neuron, one cell, can connect to other cells about 10,000 to 70,000 times. So if you look into this, you could have about trillion network within the brain. Look at this small brain that weighs 3 pounds. So if you look at this one, there's a difference between the brain and the mind. Because it's small, but look at this big network. Can extend all the way to Lindador. But it's a small mind that you have, the small brain that you have. You know, so it means the mind is connected to a bigger force up there. So your thought, it hangs around your head. It's not in your brain, it hangs around your head. That's how come sometimes you want to say something, the guy could pick it up. We are powerful beings, though. You know, so learning could fend it off. So you need to be a learner because you work on the synapse. You learn, you repeat, you go over, you get them stronger. You learn other things, they connect. So you're forming more network. So if one part is affected, you still have a reserve. So we call it cognitive reserve. So you still have a reserve to fall on. When one network gets damaged, there are still reserves to fall on. Look at this one. I'll bring you one thing that's also good for the brain and could fend off dementia. Naps, the naps that we take. Super. Here's the statistics. When you take a 26-minute nap, just 26 minutes, I didn't even say 30, it improves your alertness by 54%. And improves your performance by 34%. This is research from NASA. It's not me talking. So in the afternoon, when you are working, maybe around 1, 2, take just a short nap and wake up, you feel refreshed. You regain energy. You know. Now, I was learning the statistics. I use a method to learn it. So just knowing this is one piece of the network. Taking my time to remember the numbers. So I put 26 here. Then 6, I reduce it by 1, that would be 5, so 54. The 2 goes here. I increase it by 1, that would be 34. They are 4, 4, 54, 34. Then 1 is alertness, the other one is performance. So I do AP. So that has been created in my mind. As opposed to somebody just learning this, take 26 minutes now, 54, 34, one way. So one network. In my brain, I have different networks for the same information.
Yeah.
So it becomes difficult for me to forget this.
Sure.
If one network is damaged, I still have another link to retrieve the information. So when you learn and even know how to learn, you fend off dementia. You improve your synapses. It's a major defense. So learning is one of the things that we should talk about. We need to learn and don't retire. I should say this one. So some of us, we have a retirement package. Looking at the clock. When I go 60, I retire.
I'm done.
You don't have to retire. Because when you retire, this is what you are telling the mind. It's all done. We're done. We're finished. And remember this one. The mind was created to learn and improve. So the very moment the mind can't learn and improve again, it knows that is the end. So it's retirement. Let's retire. And when the brain starts to retire, do you know what it does? It retires the whole body. Because it controls everything. So if I'm the CEO, going to retirement, everybody, all the employees, company is closed. So when we close the company down, everybody goes down, and this is biblical. So I use something called divinus neuroscience from the Bible and science. I merge the two. And this is what neuroscience is talking about. This is what science is talking about. There was a guy in the Bible. He said, I have got everything. Now it's time for me to marry, sleep, and enjoy. Yeah. What happened to him?
He died.
He died. Yeah. So you need to stimulate the brain all the time. So we don't need to retire. We could relax at some point, but we don't need to retire.
At least do something different.
Something you love. If you want to retire, pick something you love. That's how come I've picked youth empowerment. I will never go on retirement.
Have you retired from what you originally wanted to do?
Not really, not yet. But when I get to like 50, I need to. That big job. I'm also an entrepreneur. So around 50, I need to slow down that one. Then it will be youth empowerment full time. When I wake up, I'm thinking about the youth. What message have I got for them? So that you don't need to retire.
And that requires a lot of learning to understand
learning. So
even
you understand it, yeah.
Love that.
So we don't need to retire.
But how could you possibly discipline yourself towards this? Because I think you'd have to be intentional, because all we've said has to do with the grade. It looks nice.
But how do I achieve it?
That, do this, do that. I tell you what, and I keep on saying this. I mean, I've learned a lot, from Lifestyle Daily, from MX24, and I try to incorporate that. Even at home, there are certain times that I'm trying to let my wife know that, no, don't do this, don't do this. It will take a time for her to adapt, because she's not too
familiar with
about it. You get it. Yes. So, for instance, the light thing. I mean, don't get on your phone too much before you sleep. You get it. But at first, you talked to her about it. It looked very strange to her, because maybe it's something that she would always do. But then later on, you realize that, she'll keep it away for a while before. So, so it's about the discipline. Yeah. How do you go about this discipline?
That's a good question. Discipline came from the word disciplina, which means instructions, or discipulus. So you need to be a disciple, be a student. It's tough being a student. It's tough being a follower. It's tough being a disciple.
It is.
So that's how come there is a major difference. It's a bridge between your goal and achievement. Jim Rohn will tell you about that one. So how do you become disciplined? It's tough, but this is what you do. You first need a reason. So whenever I want to do something, I want to stick to that, I find a compelling reason. Why do I want to do this? I exercise every blessed day. So I have a reason. Why do I want to keep my figure? I know exercise improves the brain. I want my brain to be there all the time. So I have a reason. So when I'm exercising, my mind knows why. So it brings joy. So have a reason first. And when you have a reason, here, bring it to neuroscience. There's a CEO here. is a chief executive of the brain. It's called prefrontal cortex.
Yeah.
So when I have a reason, it's turned on, and it finds a way to push me to do it. So reason is number one. Number two, intentional. So I'm coming to do this for 21 days. So you have a 21-day challenge. This, I want to go to bed. Let's use your wife, your beautiful wife, as an example.
Oh, she's beautiful.
I want to basically do this, go off my phone 3 hours before I sleep or 2 hours before I sleep. I'm doing this for 21 days. I'm intentional about it. Intention is powerful. So she will try to do it intentionally. Now you have to be conscious. So every time he consciously will not touch the phone 2 hours before bedtime. She will do it. It's conscious. When you do things repeatedly, it becomes unconscious. So you become intentional. You do it for 21 days, be measured. If you do something for 21 days, chances are that will form a habit.
Yeah.
And some people say your brain restructures every 21 days. You know, so if I do it intentionally for 21 days, the brain is about to restructure. So it restructures and it gets into that new state. So that becomes me now. It has become unconscious. It goes into my subconscious mind. Now I become automatic. So at that time, my brain knows, my body knows. Information is in the body, not just in the brain, it's in the body as well. So it will dictate my behavior. So you do it intentionally for 21 days. Don't miss a day. My son didn't like learning, but I had to give him this. So we're learning 21. Every day we learn. Sunday, holiday, whatever, you learn every day. Homework or no homework. We did it 21 days. Now, even when it's 6:30, you say, Daddy, it's 6:30. What are we learning today? It has become a part and parcel of it. So do it intentionally. And you can also do something called the AIM practice, affirmations, imagination, meditation. So what you want to do, write it down first. It's very, very powerful, the power of writing. It makes a great impact on the mind. So write it down. Look at it every day whenever you wake up. So as soon as you wake up, you look at it. What do I want to do? This is what I want to do. Picture it already happened. Yeah, I see myself going to bed 2 hours before bedtime. You know, then you say, I go to bed 2 hours before bedtime. No, I will go to bed. I go, like it's already happened.
Yeah.
You know, it's different. If you say something as if it's already happened, it's different from you saying that it will happen. That's how come in the Bible says, let the weak say, I will be strong. Oh.
I am strong.
I am.
Love
You know,
that.
because your genes, where you go, science is beautiful. Your genes and science and the Bible, there's a link. Your genes, you dictate how they express. So the guy is dumb. When you look genetically, he's dumb. But he can dictate how that dumb gene could express based on your thought. That's what we call epigenetics. So your thoughts, your affirmations, your words, they are very powerful. They dictate how your genes basically express. So if yes, makeup, yeah, you feel weak, but you say it and believe it that it's already happened, it starts to change. You know, so when you do this, then you change it. Then your system is changing. And you constantly do this. Then it becomes the new you. Hardware becomes a software. Then it starts to dictate your behavior. That becomes a habit. You know, so that's how you become disciplined.
Wow.
Did you see what he just did? Like, he literally took you through every single step to make it happen.
Yeah.
So for you out there, we are very excited. And like Jay always says, this segment called Lifestyle Daily segment is indeed Lifestyle Daily because we are learning on the show. We are learning, and we have amazing resource people coming through every day of the week, especially on Thursdays. We used to run away from Thursdays, guys, really, to be honest with you. And on Thursdays, we are always running away like, guys,
Yes, because
they're coming to scare us with health situations. But Thursdays have started shaping a certain lifestyle in us. Because even me, right now, at 6 o'clock, like, I see food and I'm scared.
Diet is another one that affects the brain.
Yeah.
You know, so you don't need to eat after 6. You know, the doctors will tell you it doesn't digest properly.
Yeah.
You know, look at how the sun shines. That's how we should eat. It starts slow. Slowly in the morning, it peaks around 12,
12.
between 12 and 2.
Yeah.
You know, so at the around 4, it tapers off. You
Sunset.
know, so that's how we should eat.
Oh my God, that no.
So you start slow.
Right.
In the afternoon, you do it big.
Dig.
At the tail end, you slow down
Slow
again.
it down.
I'm telling you, it's a beautiful lifestyle. I'm telling you.
And you have energy all
Because
the
you
time.
feel light.
Energy.
Oh my God, if we knew this earlier, I'm sure that
starts
we'd
But
be very
slow.
our grandparents, they knew. They didn't know the science part.
Yeah.
That's how come they told you don't pound after 6.
Yeah.
No pounding, no fufu.
Yeah.
Because fufu, when you eat after 6, doesn't digest.
They will
Starch.
not, yeah.
You know, so they won't let anybody pound.
Yeah.
And they will give some stories. If you do that, some ghosts just to scare you.
Yeah.
And they knew what they were doing. They wake up early, sleep early.
Early,
Around 7, we all play a little bit, get the body, you know,
Yeah.
vibrated a little bit, you know. Then it can sleep better.
Yeah. 'Cause then
Around
you're
9,
tired,
everybody's
yeah.
gone to bed.
Yeah. It's true.
They sleep better. They were living long. And not just living long, but living well. It's about how well we live, not even how long you live. Some people are living long, but not living well. You know. So these, they work. That's how come even the white people, they came to change everything. But now they are going back to our lifestyle.
Yeah.
The white man will tell you don't eat after 6.
Yes.
Sleep early. Now they'll tell you to take cold showers. But we were doing this. And they brought us the hot waters, the heaters and all that. But now the white man who wants to live well would take a cold shower because it refreshes the body. It improves blood flow. Another risk factor is poor blood flow. That's how come if you have diabetes, hypertension, high cholesterol, these ones are major risk factors because they impede blood flow
Yeah.
to the brain, and to the
yeah.
other organs.
Yes.
You know, so when you have blood flowing to the brain and the other organs, it helps you. You know, that's how come movement is also good. Exercise. So lifestyle, we need to exercise. It's very, very important. It increases the size of your hippocampus. That's the memory center. So all the things we are talking about, hippocampus, yeah, it goes to your hippocampus. Form the memory there, you know. Then later, when you are sleeping, it will transfer the memory to your long-term memory. Call it your hard drive. So when you don't sleep well, you don't get information into your hard drive. That's how come some students in the exam hall, they tend to remember, I really know this, I learned this. But they didn't sleep well. Some people will tell you, if you've got exam, stay up late.
Yeah. Bend the candle.
It's bad. You get into the exam hall stressed. The little thing that happens is
You
gone.
forget. Yeah.
How many they cat now? Hey! I didn't referee. What's with the cat? You know, but when you get the information, when you sleep well, you learn well, sleep well, you get the information to your long term. When you still come back, you still remember because it's in your hard drive.
Wow.
Perfect bedtime.
I'll between 9 and 10.
Oh, really?
Because
Because
negativity starts after 10.
After 10.
hey,
That's right.
I'm a very positive person, but I don't sleep
Because the
early.
thing is, when you sleep early, 9, 10, you are gone. After 10, you don't have anything doing because there's nothing to do.
Yeah.
Then you start thinking your phone.
You have to figure out something.
Talk to somebody, it leads to something else, leads to something
Then before
else.
you know, you're out of your house when you're supposed to go and be sleeping. Okay, people, let's go back to the conversation. Okay,
No, but
I'm
perfect
feeling-
bedtime. Because the reason why I asked that is because you said we should sleep early.
Yeah.
For someone, sleeping early is like 7,
yeah.
6.
Yeah.
So what's the perfect bedtime?
Between 9 and 10.
9, 10 is okay.
And,
all
and
right.
the reason is the chemical I talked about, serotonin, it comes around that time.
That
9.
time, okay.
You know, so you can get enough in the system.
Okay.
And it's not just helping you sleep, it's antioxidant.
Ooh.
You know, there are chemicals that really. One day I'll come here and talk about the power of sleep.
Yeah, we need to do sleep. We need to
Power
do
of
sleep.
sleep.
Power of sleep, please. Power of sleep is definitely going to be one of
power
our
of sleep
topics,
is
our
definitely
major
good.
topics to do.
I want us to jump into the condition dementia. when you, I mean, so we have parents, we have aunties and people around us that we love that have found themselves in this situation. How do we manage the situation? And also, you did mention earlier that it's very curable. I mean, there are a few people that
there's no cure, but it's treatable.
it's treatable.
Yeah.
It's treatable. So there's chances that someone who has dementia could come out of it. Wonderful.
And
I mean,
I've
how
seen
do we do
people
that? How do we do
who have
that?
done. So use what you have in my book, Headless.
Yeah.
You know, so we are talking about the risk factors. So we need to overcome the risk factors. Poor blood flow, exercise will help you. You know, affirmation, meditation helps with blood flow. We've talked about stress. You know, stress, exercise brings down, it brings down stress, level of stress. You know, again, if you sleep well, it reduces your level of stress. You know, we talked about amyloid plaques, sleep well to help you. We talked about poor learning, stimulate the mind all the time. So anybody experience it, let them do this. Check your diet. Should walk away from too much sugar, too much alcohol, you know, do more fruit and vegetables. In my book, I talk about things that could basically improve the brain. I call it cabbage stew. Dark chocolate, super good for your mood. You know the cocoa powder bit, we have some in Ghana here.
Yeah.
Make a tea with it, drink it. You know, but don't do it after 4 or 5. It may affect your sleep because it's so powerful.
What is
You know,
it?
it makes you lively.
More powerful than
Yes.
coffee?
It's no, not coffee is powerful, but coffee has got some other effect.
Yeah.
You know, coffee has got some other side effect. You know, so but there's an argument around that one. So I would prefer the dark chocolate.
Than
Yeah, to that one. Yeah, so yeah, I'll prefer that one to that one. Then so dark chocolate is good. You know, avocado, call it pear. We
Yeah,
call
pear.
it pear. Super for the brain. It has something called monounsaturated fat.
Please be right.
But that's something you don't like, do you?
Avocado. I like avocado.
But why did you say
Pear is
Because I
super.
felt like
Maybe-
you don't like it.
Oh no! My reason for, because again it's not always in season, so it depends on when
Yeah.
you're
So
buying
eat in
it.
season so that you could balance your
Balance,
diet.
yeah.
It's good.
So me, I
and
don't-
again, the foods that you have that are not in season, you know how they were produced, not too good. It means they
Yes.
forced it.
Yes.
You know,
So that's my biggest problem
so
with
eat in
with
season.
avocado.
That
yes.
is good. You know, so pear is good. Then I'll bring you egg. Eggs good. It's got something called choline. Good for the brain.
Which of them, the fried ones or the boiled ones?
Boiled will be good.
Yeah.
You know,
Cianamco.
yeah, very very good for the brain. You know. Then I bring you salmon.
Salmon. I love salmon.
Very good for the
Okay,
brain.
so salmon we have two different types. You have the American people salmon,
Do the local one.
the local one.
Everything local is super.
It's just that one in your home.
Even the bananas, I like the local one. I prefer the local one to the foreign one.
The foreign one is nicer.
It's nicer because you know what they've done. Look at the apple. It comes all the way from overseas. It takes some few days. It gets here, you know, it gets to the market. They take it to my site, Sefio. Then I see the apple, I say, hey, apple, we do still looking fresh. Dear pan, apple.
Yeah.
It means there's something in there to preserve it, which
organized.
is not good for you.
Yeah.
So eat what you produce. There's a reason. What you guys produce, what you should eat. If you can't produce it here, don't eat it. Because before it comes here, they have to preserve it, and that preservative might not be good for you.
So how do I get a local apple?
We don't have local
don't have
apples,
local
so
apples.
forget about
But
it.
the growing salmon every, I know there's a farm they're growing salmon every, but I don't know. Me
Is it?
who processes it.
Okay.
You know, so we have some other, you know, fruits that could give you. You don't have our mangoes, the bigger
Yeah.
one, full energy.
Okay.
You know, so you do
Pineapples?
this one. Pineapple is good. You know, bananas, cucumber, carrot, good.
Cucumber is really good for
Yes,
the mind.
cucumber, super brain food.
Super brain food.
About 95%
Yeah.
water.
Yeah.
Watermelon.
Can you imagine?
So I will tell you this: drink your water, eat your water. Not necessarily drinking your water. You eat these ones, fruits with water. You
Yeah.
you eat your water. So watermelon. Boom. In there is about H3O2. It's not H2O. The water in fruit is different from the normal water we drink.
We drink.
And that is what it's in sync with the structure of the brain. So we need to bring all these ones in there to help you. Let them do this. Let them be more vibrant. Keep walking. If they can't do the strenuous form of exercise, let them do normal walking. It's super for the brain. So walking, there's another word called perambulating or ambulating. Ambulating is tied to ambulance. When they put in ambulance, what are you getting? Is it not treatment? So when you walk, you are treating the body. I'm telling you, even when you think like you're a little bit stressed, you have a minor headache, take a 10-minute walk. It goes away. And I'll bring you this, it's quite unorthodox, sunshine.
Which one? Not the 12 o'clock
Early
one.
morning sunshine or morning sunshine between 6:30 and 8:30 is super. There's something here in your brain called pineal gland. It hits there, then it causes the release of serotonin. It's a chemical, good chemical, to elevate your mood. So if anybody is experiencing depression, let them go on morning sunshine. Do it for 10, 15 minutes. Naturally, the brain will be elevated. It works like magic. And if they could even walk in it, super, for 10, 15 minutes, you find yourself naturally, So I tell people, those that smoke, there are natural ways to get the same effect. I want to smoke and so that I can focus. You don't need it. It comes with side effects. I want to smoke and feel vibrating. No, you don't need it. I go in morning sunshine. I'm always happy, lively all the time. Sometimes I do feel first, I eat better, me dear, be honest. What appetite? What appetite? Natural appetite. So you can get all these things from nature. God is so powerful and so thoughtful that everything that we need, you're free. So you look at, but like you said, it takes discipline to do this. So sometimes you may have to do the unnatural to become supernatural. So when you do this, people will call it, this is unnatural. You early morning, that's unnatural. And I'll bring you another thing called grounding. Earthing. Touching the earth with your bare foot. So you have some grass around your house. Go in there with your bare foot. Touch it. When you touch it, it balances your body. We are all solar powered. Everything is electrical. That's how come this house is earthed. Let me go and take it. Everything comes down. So we are all grounded. God himself is grounded. The earth is his what? Footstool. It means it's grounded. That's the power of grounded. So if you could do it every day, 10 minutes, it's super. And it's been proved. It's not me talking. There's a science. If you do that, it improves your immune system.
Is it only grass? What of those who have
grass?
gravels?
Normal gravels is good, but it has to be natural. Grass, gravels, or the normal sand. Just touch it. Barefoot. For 10 minutes. You feel it.
Shouts to One Love the Kubola.
Shout out to Osibo the man. That's what he does every morning.
It's super.
He goes on his walk without shoes.
It's super. But when you do on asphalt, it's not too good. It has to be natural. Touch the natural, earth. It's super. It's been proven. It's been measured. And it's that quick. The electrons, it flows to you that quick. It was measured.
Because of gravels,
when I do that.
Sometimes
when I walk on sand.
It's not even about...
So you choose the one that you are comfortable with. If you don't like gravels, you have the normal sand. Touch it. If you don't like it, you have the grass. Touch it.
Interesting.
Touch it, touch it, touch it.
So we are so powerful, and that's what I look into. The power of man. That's what I do every day. I keep asking God, why did you write this? That man was created in my own image. You are so powerful. It means we are so powerful. Do you know there's an energy around you? There's a field, as you see here. There's a field around you, invisible. It extends to about 8 meters. That's how come when the two people, they come together and they become close, they start to look alike. You and your wife, when you come close,
Ampa Omakasa.
you get it? Yeah. Your friend, your best friend,
my best friend doesn't look like me. That's how he can never look like you. That one can never. Even if we sleep, they say we can never.
So the environment bit is also very powerful.
This has been absolutely
for your brain,
amazing, Doc.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, it's always exciting when my producer said you were coming. I was like, of course, let's do this. It's always exciting to sit with you and very enlightening.
Thank you.
How do we connect with you? If there's anyone sitting outside there, they want to connect with you, they want to get your counsel on anything lifestyle, because it looks like today that's what we did. Okay,
Yeah, that's what we did. Yeah.
how do we connect with you?
I'm on social media, TikTok, because I love the youth, so I'm there.
Yeah.
You know, TikTok, Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook. You just type the name God Afo. G-O-R-D, Afo, A-F-F-U-L. And I could put my number there. If,
please do.
Yeah.
Please do.
So 0558 573422. But WhatsApp would be good. Yeah. So you WhatsApp, then I could talk to you.
Thank you so much, God, for coming through. His name is God Afo. You can find him on all social media platforms. Please connect with him. Like I keep saying here on the show, let's keep learning and growing together, because that's the point of all of this. Okay, thank you all so much for being a part of this show this morning. We're moving straight to the plug right after this.